Welcome back to Mac Talks. Football and the Premier League is back in less than 12 to 14 hours. Liverpool and Bournemouth are going to start the Premier League, and we are here to make our predictions for match day 1 of the Premier League. A lot of exciting games already on match day 1. So let's go ahead and get started. The first game, as I said, it's Liverpool versus Bournemouth at Anfield. I'm gonna say it from the get-go. I think it's going to be a big night for Liverpool. I think all their signings are going to be up for the show, and they are going to make a statement at the start of the season. They are the reigning champions, and they would want to let their rivals know that we are here and we still want to defend our title. They are playing against a Bournemouth side who unfortunately have lost so many of their important players. Basically all of their defense has gone. They have tried to replace them, but I think it's going to be a very tough night for Bournemouth. Kirkus, who played for Bournemouth, is going to be playing for Liverpool this time around, so it will be a big night for him as well. And as I said, I just don't see a Bournemouth being able to hold off Liverpool. I think it will be a big night and a fun night for every Liverpool fan going to Anfield. I'm going for a very convincing, very easy 3-0 win for Liverpool. Moving on to Saturday games, we start with Aston Villa versus Newcastle. I mean, that game is a massive one. It is an early indicator of the fight for those Champions League spot, for that coveted 5th spot. And Aston Villa and Newcastle United are both gonna go for it. I mean, if I look at their squad, I think Aston Villa have a good enough squad. Newcastle United have been very busy in the summer trying to get players, but majority of their targets have not come to them. They have gone to other clubs, and Newcastle United are feeling the heat of it. I think it'll be a very good game. Of course, playing at Villa Park, it is always a tough place to go for any club, and Newcastle United are going to feel the heat as well. And I think we are going to expect a good game of football. I'm going for a 2-2 draw between Aston Villa and Newcastle. Up next, it's Brighton versus Fulham. I think this is going to be a very tough game. It's the first game of the season. I expect both of these teams to have sort of a fall this season. I think both of them are going to have a poor season as compared to last year, and it's the first game of the season. It's Brighton are at home. They are always tough to beat at home. Fulham, they have not really invested money in the squad. They have not brought anybody in their squad as well, and I think it will be a tough game, a tough away day for them. I don't expect a winner in this game, if I'm being very honest with you, but I expect an entertaining game, and I expect goals in this game. I'm going for a very entertaining 1-1 draw between Brighton and Fulham. Then it's Sunderland versus West Ham. Sunderland are back in the Premier League. The Black Cats are going to make sure they have they make an announcement of their return in the Premier League. They are going to play West Ham, and I think this could be one of those games where Sunderland are going to take advantage of a Premier League team. I think West Ham are not really up to the level. They have not spent that much money this year. They have had a lot of transfers last year. They have a good enough squad to be have a really good season. But I still think it is going to take time under Graham Potter, and I think Sunderland, the fans are going to be really up for it at Stadium of Light. I think it's going to be a very tough game for West Ham, and as I said, I think Sunderland are going to make a statement on the first in their first game of the season, and I think they are going to shock West Ham, and I think they are going to get the win. I'm going for a very hard-fought 2-1 win for Sunderland. Moving on, it is Tottenham Hotspur versus Burnley. Now Spurs ended up being Spurs in the Super Cup final, but they ended up losing that game. How they ended up losing that game, I have no idea, but what I saw in that game, I think a lot of Spurs fans would be really happy to see the way that they played under Thomas Frank, and I think their squad is going to be really good. I have predicted them to finish 5th in the table. They are playing against a Burnley side who I think are going to struggle quite a lot this season, and I think they are unfortunately, unlike a Sunderland, their start to the season is not going to be that good. I'm going for a very comfortable 2-0 win for Tottenham. Then you have the last game of Saturday in Wolves versus Manchester City. Wolves, I think, are going to have a really bad season. I think it's going to be a very hard season for Wolves. I just don't see, how they are going to survive this year, if I'm being very honest with you, playing against Manchester City. And Manchester City know they need to start, really good. By the time they play this game, Liverpool would have already played their game, and I think Liverpool would have already won the game. So Manchester City know they cannot afford to drop points, early on in the season. They need to stay, with Liverpool, with Chelsea, with Arsenal, and I think this is going to be an easy game for Manchester City. I'm going for a very comfortable 3-1 win for Manchester City. You then have Chelsea versus Crystal Palace, two teams who have had recent successes, who have won recent tournaments. Chelsea are the Club World Cup champions. Crystal Palace won the Community Shield last week against Liverpool. So both of them are going to come in with a lot of confidence. But that Chelsea squad, I mean, that is a dangerous Chelsea squad, and I think they are going to have an amazing season. I have said it in my prediction video. I think it's going to be a four-way race for that title, and Chelsea are going to be really up for it. And unfortunately, I don't see Crystal Palace being able to stop them on match day one. I am going for a very easy, very convincing a 3-0 win for Chelsea. You then have Nottingham Forest versus Brentford. Now Nottingham Forest, I think they had a really good season last year, and I think they are going to continue this season as well. They are the home side as well, so fans are going to be up for it. They are playing against a Brentford side who have had a terrible summer window. They have lost most of their important players. They have lost their manager as well. So they are going to be in a tricky situation, if I'm being very honest with you. And a lot of us think they are going to end up going down as well. So it's going to be a big game. I think Forest being at home, and with the way what has happened to Brentford, I think Forest are gonna get a win here. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Nottingham Forest. Then it's the big one, the biggest game of the weekend in Europe this year. This weekend, sorry. It is Manchester United versus Arsenal at Old Trafford. It is the battle of two strikers that Arsenal really wanted. And one of them has ended up going to Manchester United, and the other one has come to Arsenal. It is Sheshko versus Gyökeres. I think it is going to be a really good game of football. I have said in my prediction video as well that front three of Manchester United in Cunha, in Mbeumo, and Sheshko, I think it's going to be really effective for Manchester United. But again, their midfield, their defense, their goalkeeping, I'm still not convinced of that. Arsenal, again, just like Manchester City, by the time Arsenal play, all three of Liverpool, City and Chelsea would have played, and in my opinion, all three would have won it. So Arsenal cannot really start the season, behind all three of them, and I don't think that is going to happen. I think, unfortunately for Manchester United, Arsenal are going to come at Old Trafford, and I think they are going to get the job done. It's going to be a tough game. I don't think it's going to be an easy game for them, and I think Arsenal are going to concede as well, but I'm going for a 3-1 win for Arsenal. And we finished the first match day of the season with Monday Night Football, Leeds United versus Everton. I think that is going to be an amazing night of football. The atmosphere is going to be really great at Allen Road. The fans are going to be up for it. The players are going to be up for it. It's their first game of the season back in the Premier League, and players know how important this is. But they are playing against an Everton team who have been remodeled under David Moyes. The players that they have abroad in, I think they have had a really good summer window, and I think they could end up surprising a lot of people, if I'm being very honest with you. And as I said, I think it's going to be a really exciting game. I think the atmosphere is going to be really good, and you are going to get goals in this game, but I just don't see a winner. I'm going for a very entertaining 2-all draw between Leeds United and Everton. And with that, my predictions for match day 1 of Premier League season 25-26 are completed. Let me know what you guys think of my predictions in the comment section below. You guys can make your predictions in the comments as well, and we'll see at the end of the weekend whose predictions are correct, mine or yours. I'm going to keep a score of every weekend how many points I can get. 1 point if my entire prediction is correct, half a point if my prediction is correct but the score is wrong, and of course 0 point if none of them are correct. And I will see how many of them I can do until the end of the season. You guys can play along with me in the comment section below as well. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 550 subscribers before the end of the transfer window, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.